Hi, guys, and welcome to the Truth Factor, where we do headlines with an attitude. We have just a couple of headlines that I want to get out to you this morning. Situation in Venezuela looks like they annex Guyana. And then we have France bird flu. There's also another article from End Time Headlines. And then we're going to talk just a little bit about the WHO Treaty. I want us to, there's been a little bit going around about it in some videos, and we just need to touch base on it. Okay. All right, guys. As you know, we have all these articles archived in the Wix in the link below, and so let's get right into it. From Hal Turner, the Bulletin, Venezuela annexes about 70% of the neighboring Guyana, grabs oil and mineral-rich area. The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, announced Tuesday night that Essequibo region of western Guyana is now officially a territory of Venezuela, with the state map being released and oil expeditions said to be planning stages. With this declaration, Venezuela has grabbed about 70% of the country of Guyana. The map shown above it was released by Venezuela Tuesday night, showing Guyana Essequibo as the entire eastern region of Venezuela. Below the annexed area is the outlined in red pen. Wow, that is a huge land grab. How, I mean, guys, and you know, the only if you remember, we mentioned there was you know, them gearing up to do this, and do you think that they just, you know, walked in there and Brazil just gave it to them without a fight? What is really going on, guys? And none of this is making headlines. I mean, you know, I say it's not making headlines. You know, we're getting a little bit here and there from Hal, and I think there was something in the Venezuelan article that we put out for the follow up. Basically, because when you hear of something as large as this, you'd think that somebody else would be reporting it, but it doesn't seem to be so, guys. But here we have the results of, I guess, you know, no squimish, no big squimish, no nothing. They just marched in there and took what they wanted. I didn't know Venezuela was so big and bad, you know, and that Brazil was such a, you know, a laid back country. Just saying. I mean, you know, I don't know what, you know, what to think and what's going on, but that is huge in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comment section what you think of that about this. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to read, you know, what we got here, because we need just about as much information as we can get. We have, it's been about a week since we had this anything on this. So let's continue on. I hit the wrong thing, guys. Sorry. The Gyana Essequibo is a region of about 159,500 kilometers, 61,600 square mile, west of Essequibo River. That is currently administered and controlled by Guyana, but claimed by Venezuela as part of its territory. This dispute dates back to the colonial era, when Spain and the Netherlands competed for the control of the area. In 1814, the Netherlands ceded its colonies of Essequibo, Demerara, and Berbice to Britain, which later unified them into British Guiana. Venezuela inherited the Spanish claim to the region after its independence in 1811, but Britain expanded its control further west of the Essequibo River in the 19th century. In 1895, Venezuela sought the help of the United States to resolve the border dispute with Britain, invoking the Monroe Doctrine, which declared the American continent as off limits to European intervention. The U.S. intervened and forced Britain to accept an international arbitration of the entire disputed territory. The arbitration tribunal convened in Paris in 1898 and awarded most of the territory to the British Guiana in 1899. However, Venezuela later denounced the award as invalid, alleging that the tribunal was biased and corrupted by British influence. The dispute remained unresolved after Guyana gained its independence from Britain in 1966. Venezuela has since maintained its claim to the Guana Esquabia and has occasionally resorted to military and diplomatic pressure to assert its sovereignty over the region. Venezuela also rejected the jurisdiction of International Court of Justice to settle the dispute and instead proposed a bilateral negotiation with Guana. And I'm probably murdering that word, but you guys know that's how that I struggle sometimes. The struggle is real. It is. It is. Anyway, the Guana Esquabia is rich in natural resources. Imagine, guys, I don't think they would be wanting this if it didn't have anything to offer, right? If they weren't going to gain something huge out of this, I just don't see, why all the fuss, right? Okay. Anyway, is rich in natural resources such as oil, gas, gold, diamonds, and timber, which have attracted the interest of both countries and foreign companies in recent years. Guyana has granted exploration and production license to several multinational corporations, such as ExxonMobil, to exploit off-the-shore oil and gas reserves in the disputed waters. Venezuela has protested against these activities and has accused Guyana of violating its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The tension between the two countries has escalated in the context of the political and economic crisis in Venezuela, which has led to the deterioration of its relations with its neighbors and international community. Venezuela has been accused of human rights violation, corruption, and authoritarianism, and interference in internal affairs of other countries. Venezuela has also faced several challenges to its legitimacy, such as Venezuela presidential crisis, which resulted in the emergency of two rival governments, one led by Nicolas Maduro, who claims to be the constitutional president, and another led by Juan Guaido, who claims to be the interim president, recognized by more than 50 countries, including Brazil. Brazil is the largest and the most influential country in South America and has played an important role in the regional affairs and resolution of conflicts. Brazil has historically maintained cordial and cooperative relations with both Guyana and Venezuela and has supported the peaceful and diplomatic settlement of the dispute over the Guayana Esquabia. However, Brazil's position has changed significantly under the president of Jair Bolsonaro, who had adopted a more confrontational and ideological stance against Venezuela and its allies. Bolsonaro has aligned himself with the U.S. and other countries that recognize Guaido as the legitimate president of Venezuela and has denounced Maduro as a dictator and a threat to the regional stability and democracy. Bolsonaro, who's messing with that? I saw you messing with it, Rachel. Bolsonaro has also expressed his support for Guano's sovereignty. Thank you, Matthew. And in territorial integrity, and has criticized Venezuela's claims and actions as aggressive and illegitimate. According to some reports, the Brazilian armed forces have been placed into heightened state of readiness due to significant movement of military equipment and personnel in eastern Venezuela on the border of Gyana, which has recently been detected by satellite imagery and the intelligence sources. Some officials believe that Venezuela may soon invade the small South American country in order to annex the Guana Esquibia region, which accounts for over 60% of the nation's territory and has been claimed by Venezuela government. Regional observers earlier this week made clear if this annexation scenario materializes, it could trigger a major regional conflict that would involve not only Guyana and Venezuela, but also Brazil and other neighboring countries, as well as the U.S. and other international actors. With Tuesday night's release of the map above the declaration by Venezuela's president, it's safe to say the situation has in fact materialized. War in South America is now likely. This is developing very fast, so check back for updates. And we'll just do a refresh and see if there was anything added to this. And I don't see anything. And we'll go home. Make sure he didn't put anything. No. All right, guys. So there we go. I think we're spread awfully thin, guys. Awfully thin. All right. Now, here is something that I want everyone to make note of. And please make note, and not just make a note, but as you make note, make sure that you are prepared. I want everyone, every person I know, every person I don't know, to have the most uh, advanced, heads up as possible for things to come. And we've been telling everybody to prepare, and we're seeing that as we go into this next season next year, we're going to be in bad shape, guys. I hope everybody is prepared, and as prepared as much as possible. Okay, so as we prepare to step up into 2024, it's important to know what changes are to come over the next year, including the changes that might come to the selection of items at grocery stores. In 23, we faced scarcity of several products, from toilet paper to sriracha. Now there are a few other items that may become harder to find over the next 12 months. Factors like environmental challenges, labor shortages, and more could pose a risk to the availability, quality, and affordability of certain spices, dairy products, eggs, seafoods, grains, fresh produce, and meat and poultry. Here's a closer look at challenges each category is facing and some alternative options for savvy shoppers. Now, I want to also mention I was given a heads up that eggs in a town in Virginia has gone back in the other direction. It has made a steady incline on a few organic products there. So now we don't know what the other regular eggs were, but we know that organic eggs have increased there. So guys, I would encourage you. If you like scrambled eggs, if you like scrambled eggs, you might want to go ahead and whatever you have, put in a container, freeze them, because you can freeze eggs. And just keep extra on hand. So, and when you get low, freeze a little more, and just that way you always have something on hand, right? Anyway, spices is the number one food on the list here, guys. Spices like black pepper and cinnamon are staple in most kitchens across the U.S. Not only do they bring great flavor to your meals, but many of these also amazing health benefits. And I think that's the kicker right there, guys, because cinnamon and even black pepper is have amazing health benefits. And I will tell you, if you guys, those that have been following us along, and you guys know that my husband was sick not too long ago, and we've been praying for him. And I think it's a mixture of prayer and everything else. But we tried a home remedy of where we just took some lemon and we put salt and pepper on it. And I'll tell you, he had it for a couple of slices throughout the day. And the following day, he was pretty good. Now, again, I will tell you, we were praying for him. But if God places something in your path to try, don't throw away that knowledge, right? So I just wanted to share that with you. There's something about the black pepper and the salt and the lemon mixed together, that combination that helps. So maybe that'll help you if you are starting to get ill or have been. And anyway. So unfortunately, some of your must-have seasonings may be hard to find in the coming year. The spice aisle is feeling the impact of climate issues affecting countries like Vietnam and India, leading to scarcity in staples like black pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, and garlic powder. If India, I can't help but think turmeric. I don't know if that's where turmeric comes from, but I would make sure that I had all of those lovely things and try just to stock up on some of them. Now, I'm not saying go out and hoard these things, but I'm saying just have a little more on hand, and maybe even try to grow some of these, guys, in your own kitchen. A potential solution lies in cultivating your own spices at home. Small herb garden or an indoor potted plants can offer a sustainable and flavorful alternative. Then we have dairy products, guys. And I think when you see the bird flu that is really taking a run all around the globe, you know that these things are, um, they're at play. So we have dairy products. Many people keep their fridge stocked with dairy products like milk, cheese, and butter at all times. However, the unfortunate truth is that you may run into issues of limited availability and higher prices of these items. Now, guys, not everybody can afford to run out and go buy them a dairy cow, you know, and even if you did, I don't know that the government would allow you to keep it. But maybe that's a solution. I don't know. I would be making friends with your local farmer, bake them a pie or two, you know, see how they're doing, and if you know, maybe you guys can, you know, barter some with something, you know, maybe services or you know, you can mow his grass or something. I don't know, but I'll tell you that you're gonna have to get, I guess, creative, especially if they continue to go in the route that they're going in, right? These issues stem from few complications, including the escalating feed costs for cows caused by grain growth issues. I say it's caused by the green agenda, guys. I'm not gonna, you know, they can twist it and say it however they want to, but you know, additionally, labor shortages and extreme weather events such as flood, droughts, and heat waves further stress the dairy production. Yeah. Of course, we want everyone to know that it's you know, climate control. It's gone crazy, guys. Yikes. It might be time to embrace plant-based milk alternatives like almond, soy, oat milk presents a sustainable and nutritious substitute, guys. And you know, if you're not able to get, just think, all of these things are going to be eventually going to be poof, they're gone. Now I'll tell you, you know, almond milk, we like almond milk. Soy milk is not one of those things that we would prefer here in this house, but I will tell you that because of the stomach issues that my grandson has had, we've had just about all of them, and it'll keep you going, guys. It's good in cereal, you know. Just about anything, you probably could put water in cereal and be okay, but you know, it might not taste all that great depending on what kind of cereal you have, right? I wouldn't suggest milk, but you know, we have that, what my husband calls crack milk that he makes, that's with the condensed and sweet milk that we use for creamer. We use for if we get in a pinch. So maybe there's other alternatives we can start getting creative with. Okay. So eggs, as we were talking about, you know, the chickens, the bird flu. You may remember that egg prices reached an all-time high in 2023. And while we may be recovering from that fiasco, there are still few issues present. And like I said, hearing that the egg prices are going back in the other direction in some small town in Virginia, with organic egg prices anyway, just giving you all a heads up. Okay, then we also have seafood. As it turns out, there may be plenty of fish in the sea, but fish isn't the only delicious source of protein. It's also incredible for your health. So for this reason, many of us purchase seafood on a regular basis. There are few issues that can make that more difficult in 2024. Overfishing, climate change, and water pollution are impacting fish populations and the quality of seafood. Opting for sustainable, sourced, and reasonable farm fish is a recommended alternative you may also consider. Then again, we have grains, another crucial component of a balanced diet. But as mentioned above, global climate issues could pose a significant risk to several crops that you may rely on for your pantry staples. Grains faces challenges with climate change affecting harvests through droughts, floods, and unpredictable weather patterns. Soil degradation and pest infestations add to the difficulties. Luckily, there are many options out there when it comes to healthy grains. We're going to go ahead and click on, hopefully we clicked on it. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so we made it to number 5. Number 6 is fresh produce. Fresh fruits and vegetables are a cornerstone of a healthy and delicious meal, but whether you're a regular stock up or leafy greens, or always keeping an eye out, the crispest apples. Guys, we have an apple tree, and I tell you, um, uh, it actually produced apples, and it didn't take us long. I think it's a 2-year-old tree. So I would say that, if you have a yard and you have room, put you an apple tree out there. At least you'll have an apple, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's what they say. Now, will it? What was it enough? To keep us for the whole year? Probably not, because it's such a small tree. But I mean, something's better than nothing. I think, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean, and it will produce enough. When it gets bigger and stuff. So I would say, grow your own if you can. Um, but that being said, we have also meat and poultry on there. Guys, it goes without saying, with all of the bird flu that has been taking wreaking havoc on the chickens and the turkeys, things are going to go crazy. It's going to be harder and harder to come by these things, because obviously, for the obvious reasons, right? And then all of the new blue tick and deer tick and all of these other things that are affecting all of our meat and poultry. So guys, next year could be a little harder. And again, let's not forget the swine flu. It has challenged everything. It's going to be a challenge. So guys, I would say do what you can to prepare. A lot of people have been canning meats for a very long time. I can remember. I know one person that should be way ahead of the curve, and that was Miss Gloria. She was canning meats like it was no tomorrow, and now we can see where Miss Gloria is going to be in good shape. Maybe the rest of us, maybe not in so much great shape, but if we're hearing and listening, we're preparing. We're preparing as best as we can. Anyway, so then we have France has just been placed on high alert for that bird flu after new cases detected. Now, guys, as we said, this bird flu continues to wreak havoc on the poultry. It's crazy. So again, it's striking in France. France raised the risk level of bird flu to high from moderate on Tuesday after new cases of the disease detected, forcing poultry farms to keep birds indoors. The decision by the Agriculture Ministry was published in an official journal on Tuesday. Avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu, has led to the culling of hundreds of millions of birds worldwide in recent years. It unusually strikes during autumn and winter and has been spreading in many European countries over the past weeks, including Germany and Netherlands and the Belgium. So guys, again, I think it goes without saying, it's not good. And so prepare if you can, if you can buy a little extra, if you have room in your freezer, do whatever you can to be prepared. If you can meat. There's all kinds of different ways to prepare for this. All right. So I've seen a couple of little videos floating around about this WHO pandemic preparedness treaty. So I think, and this here is from the House of Commons Library, the UK Parliament, which, guys, it's going to be the same no matter if it's for the US, for whatever. There might be a little bit different, wording because of the, different states or different parliament, but it's the same treaty. And I'll show you, we'll get into that. But here you can download the full report. So there is a link to the documents to download. I'm not interested in covering every aspect of this. I just want us to have a general idea of what we're looking at. So let's get into this, guys. In March 2021, a group of world leaders, including the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, announced an initiative for a new treaty in the pandemic preparedness and response. This initiative was taken to the World Health Organization and will be negotiated, drafted, and debated by newly established intergovernmental negotiation body. A petition on the UK Parliament website called for the government to commit to not signing any international treaty on the pandemic prevention and preparedness establishment by the WHO unless this is approved through a public referendum. The petition closed in November 2022 with 156,086 signatures and was debated in the Parliament on April 17, 2023. This briefing will give an overview of the key background, progress, and developments as a treaty as of June 1st, 2023. This June 2023 update includes further information and parallel amendments being made to the international health regulations. This here tells you what is the WHO. We all know it's the World Health Organization, which is a United Nations agency that connects nations, partners, and people to promote health, keep the world safe, and serve the vulnerable. So everyone everywhere can attain the highest level of health. The WHO Constitution was signed in July 1946 by representatives of 61 states and entered into the force on the 7th of April 1948. What is being proposed? In March 2021, a joint article, the group of leaders. The main goal of this treaty would be to foster and get this, guys, because I think this is key of what we need to understand. This here is in my opinion, just a further issuance and push for new world order. One global agenda, guys. That's what this really is about. And we can see that it is the main goal of this treaty would be to foster an all of government and all of society approach. So all of everyone's government and all of their society to approach to strengthen national, regional, and global capacities and resilience to future pandemics. This includes greatly enhancing international cooperation to improve, for example, alert systems, data sharing, research, and local, regional, and global production and distribution and of medical and public health countermeasures, such as the sleevers, medicines, diagnostics, and personal protective equipment. So, guys, basically, they're saying, how China went one direction, North Korea went another direction, South Korea went another direction, how, UK went one direction, Switzerland went another, the United States went another direction. But what they're wanting is for all of these governments and societies to be all on the same page and it be one kind of goal and everybody do the same thing. That's what they're wanting. And, I don't know that, one size fits all. Just saying. I think that takes away from the people's approach to this and to think that, they just need one person to go along with it in our country. And they have it as a done deal. And so I disagree with all of this. But again, a lot of people are for this new world order. And there are those that are not. And I think that's kind of where this is going to fall, is who is for, one rule. Okay. So the article acknowledges existing provisions for a coordinated international response under the international health regulations, which would underpin such a treaty. October 2021, the working group of the Strengthening WHO Preparedness for and Response to Health Emergencies published a zero draft report outlining an assessment of the benefits of a new WHO convention, agreement, or other international instrument on pandemic preparedness and response for consideration by the World Health Assembly. This report, among other things, suggested that such an initiative could include promoting high-level political commitment and a whole of government, whole of society approaches, addressing equity, enhancing the One Health approach, and strengthening health systems and their resilience. So, guys, if they say that you have to do something, that's the whole society approach, everybody is going to have to do it, right? So where, in some countries, it was mandatory that you did something. In some countries, it wasn't. So, guys, I would say, in this new approach, I don't think that there's going to be much of a individual choice. It's going to be whatever the whole government decides. So I think this is not a good thing. Again, I'm not for the New World Order. Maybe some of you are. I would tell you to really, investigate if you want, to be a type of dictatorship and told what to do, how to do it. I think that this goes against our pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty. It goes against what we as individuals want to do or even believe in, for that matter. Maybe there's people that have religious beliefs that do not believe in any type of vaccines or anything. So I think this will infringe upon them as well. So I don't think it's a good thing, but guys, I'm not here to tell. I can tell you what my opinion is of it all day long, but I pray that you will do your due diligence and, write your state representative, write the president if you have to, write whoever you have to, and let him know what you feel about this. Because I think with all treaties, you can withdraw from them. We've seen past presidents do so many of those withdrawals, right? So anyway, on November 29th into December 1st, 2020, the WHO World Health Assembly met in a special session to discuss the proposal and the way forward. This was the only the second ever special session of its kind in the history of the Assembly. Okay. And it says, does the UK support the treaty? Prime Minister Boris Johnson was a signatory to the article proposing the treaty initially. So he did sign off on it, guys. But on the 27th, the government responded to the parliamentary petition stating that it supported a new legally binding instrument as part of the cooperative and comprehensive approach to pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. The UK's position on the exact substance of the treaty remains to be seen as negotiations continue. What does the treaty say? Zero draft of the treaty, known as a zero draft of WHO, California. It's kind of funny. Plus, was published, but California had something to do with it, or maybe that's Canada. I don't know. I think that CA is California. Anyway, was published on the 1st of February, 2023 and discussed at the Intergovernmental Negotiation Body 4th meeting between the 27th of February, 2023 and the 3rd of March, 2023. Because the zero draft is starting point for negotiations, the subsequent provisions in the content of the treaty could change, but the general structure and broad issues the treaty is likely to address are more likely to remain. Currently, the parties are negotiating on issues such as the definition, means, and procedures for declaring a pandemic and what this actually means in practice for states. How the treaty would work alongside with international health regulations, key international principles that will guide the treaty, such as human rights, sovereignty, equity, solidarity, transparency, accountability, and more. How to receive equity in the global supply chain for pandemic-related products and access to relevant technologies. Strengthen the resilience and responsiveness of health systems. How states and WHO should be coordinated and cooperating in pandemic preparedness and response. How to finance pandemic preparedness and response response initiatives, setting up a new governing body for a treaty, a COP of conference of the parties, other general legal issues relating to treaties such as amendments, withdrawal, and dispute settlement. Say withdrawal. So guys, I mean, anybody, I guess, at any given time you can withdraw. It's up to your government, obviously. So key dates moving forward. Here are key dates, guys. According to the WHO, the following are key recent developments and updates in the progress of the treaty. The INB hosted is the 5th meeting in April 2023. The INB will deliver a progress report to the 76th World Health Assembly in May of 2023, which we know this is already passed. By late May, early June, the first date of the WHO CA Plus will be distributed to member states. And again, I don't know if that's Canada or California, but I find that if it's California, I find that very intriguing. An INB drafting group will meet in June 2023. The INB will host its 6th meeting in July 2023. Further meetings and drafting group sessions could be held in September, November, and December of 2023. The INB will submit its outcome for consideration by the 77th World Health Assembly in May of 2024. So I think, guys, like the deadline for all of this is May of next year, of this coming year, rather. So here's another documents to download for you, the download the full report. I encourage everyone to investigate, to look, and just be aware of the changes or things that are that could possibly affect us. And like I said, this is and so what that this says, this is from the UK, guys. This is going to be a global treaty. So what it's going to be a one size fits all. So are we ready for one size fits all? I don't know. But I think that we need to be informed and know what is in our near future. And if we have grievances with it, our Constitution tells us that we have the right to redress our grievances with our government. So I would be, calling council members, Congress, Senate. I would be calling everybody I could up underneath the sun to deliver my, disagreement with them, so that I would make sure that my voice was heard for my family. And I would encourage you to do the same. Anyway, that is what I have this morning, guys. Just wanted to make sure we've covered some of this in the past, but I just want to make sure that we have everything that we need, because it continues to rear its head, especially, and we'll probably be hearing a lot more as we approach May of 2024 about this WHO treaty. So, guys, just be informed. I am curious, about how Venezuela became so strong that it could annex this from Brazil or what, take it away from its own sovereignty. This one here has me just bewildered this morning. So I'm kind of thinking that this could probably lead to another major fallout. Anyway, we'll see if there's a confrontation over this. I think that there probably will be. Anyway, if you missed any of this stream, this here to me, I think is the biggest of all of the things that were reported on. I would go back and look at the very first of it. If you want to hear me read it, if you want to read it, all of the links to all of these articles is in the Wixit in the description in the box below. And then there's a list of 7 foods that you may no longer be able to get in the grocery store. Also very important, I think. And then more talk about the bird flu in France. That is what we talked about if you missed this stream. Anyway, God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless. We'll see you later.